Woody and Gorney back for another week of picks. It's week 12. The season's almost over. It's even more depressing than ever, Gorney. We have a tremendous season record. You went 12-7-2 last week. I actually went 11-8-2 myself. We had one pick different, one of the weeknight games. You're now 123-93-3 on the season. I'm 115-101-3. So we can finish well above 500.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's not blow this.
All right, so let's jump immediately into the games. Utah going to Oregon. This line has been moving around. Oregon now an underdog. At one point, they were up by as much as 6. Not sure if Bo Nix is going to play here. What do you think, Gorney?
Yeah, I think this all depends on if Bo Nix plays. If he can get out there, he's not going to be 100%, but if he can get out there and play, I'm going to take Oregon. I'm feeling that he's not going to play. I think the line is swinging a little, heavily. Now Oregon is not even favored. So I'm going to take Utah here. Oregon is coming off of a loss, not as fired up about this game. The playoff is kind of out of the picture now. Utah just kind of grinds along and it wins. If Bo Nix plays, I switch my pick. If he doesn't play, I'll take Utah. So Utah's the pick right now.
Yeah, something's up with Nix. I just don't. It's really weird trying to figure out what he even heard on that play. I was like, did he have a concussion? No. Now they're saying it was his leg. He was begging to get back in. Dan Lanning single-handedly blew the game last week, and truly epic, horrible coaching performance. I mean, it was crazy. So I'm going to take Utah as well. No matter what, whether they're favored, underdog, whatever, I kind of like them to win outright here, especially if Nix can't play, because Ty Thompson has not lived up to that ranking that you and I
give him time.
Give him as a recruit. All right, USC and UCLA. I think this one is in the Rose Bowl. Doesn't really matter in terms of home field advantage here. Line also once again moved around. What do we have it at? I'm sorry.
I think I see it. USC -2.
Yeah, okay, that's right. So yeah, USC favorite, basically almost a pick 'em now.
Yeah, it's a pick 'em, and this game. You think over the years USC has dominated the series, but in the last decade they split 5-5. But those have been a lot of the Clay Helton, Lane Kiffin, Steve Sarkisian years. This is a different USC team. I'm going to lean with what I've done over the years and, rank USC players appropriately high. And finally, maybe they'll live up to expectations. I'm going to take USC here. I don't think the Rose Bowl has much of a factor. I've been to this game before. It's pretty much a 50-50 split. UCLA has had to hand out free tickets for their biggest rivalry of the game. The New York Times was out here writing about how nobody goes to UCLA games. I'm going to take USC -2. UCLA, again, off of a loss. I'm not entirely, they'll get up for this game. DTR is talking a lot, but USC has the better players.
I'm taking UCLA. Oh, come on. You think that defense, DTR is going to be running all over them. Give me DTR rushing yards, props. Give me Zach Charbonnet. Boy, he looked great last week. He's back. He's healthy. People were like, he's sitting out for the draft. No, he's back better than ever. They blew that game. The Pac-12 in classic fashion. Washington beats Oregon, blowing that matchup of Utah and Oregon with 2 top 10 teams. And then UCLA loses to Arizona, blowing that matchup of 2 top 10 teams. So awful. But yeah, give me the Trojan or the Bruins. And I like that as one of my big picks of the week. Ole Miss going to Arkansas. Arkansas, 2.5-point underdog.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a suspicious line here. So Arkansas has not really been playing well. Ole Miss has been playing well. They lost in a very tough way last week. The public likes Ole Miss here, but Arkansas is favored on the small number with the money. So I'm taking the Razorbacks here. I don't know, a lot of Lane rumors to Auburn, a lot of, not focused after the Alabama game. Arkansas can kind of come in here and surprise people. This number feels like it should be more plus Arkansas +6.5. Because it isn't means it shouldn't be. Arkansas money line bet. Take the Razorbacks.
Oh wow, boy! I always love that rationale. This is where we find out if Lane Kiffin's leaving or not.
Yeah,
because we've seen these games over the years. I think Utah Oregon was one last year where it was like, oh, the crystal ball rumors had started, and then Utah came out and just destroyed them, and Oregon players that were checked out. I think I'm going to take Ole Miss, but like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we find out, hey, this is the game, especially with the way they lost last week and kind of the playoff being off the table for them.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State at Oklahoma. Oklahoma's 7.5-point home favorite.
Yeah, this is an interesting game because the public absolutely loves Oklahoma State, which when that's the case, I don't love it. Not only that, I don't like the hook in a rivalry game. But I don't know if Spencer Sanders is going to play. If he does, is he healthy? If he is healthy, is he good? All of the questions that we've had over the years. I'm going to regret this pick probably, but I'm going to lean on my principles here if I have any left. I'm going to take Oklahoma -7.5. I don't, and it's really just because the public absolutely loves Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I didn't check those numbers. I am going to take Oklahoma State. They haven't been strong. Everybody knows how I feel about Sanders, but 7.5 in a rivalry game, too much. I still like Oklahoma to win, but that hook sticking with me. So yeah, give me the Pokes. TCU going to Baylor. Another suspicious line. Baylor 2.5-point underdog at home.
Yeah, again, a very suspicious line, and I don't know if this is just TCU still not getting respect, or this is a trap game, or how to feel about it. Baylor has not looked all that great either recently, but I'm going to take them. The public loves TCU. This looks like a trap game for the betting masses. So I'm going to take Baylor +2.5. Maybe they lose 31-30. Maybe it comes down to a 2-point conversion at the end. I don't know what it's going to be, but this feels like the number's way too low here, which means it's a trap this late in the season. So I'm going to take the Bears.
Yeah, I'm going to take Baylor as well. TCU, I just been waiting for them to trip up. They played really good last week, but I think they're still due for a fall. So yeah, give me Baylor to cover and win outright. NC State going to Louisville. Louisville a 4-point home favorite. Do I have that right, Gorney?
Yeah, that's right, and I'm going to take them. I don't know why NC State just can't really score. Louisville might have something to play for. Who knows? A lot of recruits are going to be there. I don't know if the players on the team care about that, but the coaches might. So I'm going to take Louisville -4. Not a strong feeling one way or another here, but I'm just going to take the home short favorite.
I'm going to take NC State. I was right on in that prediction to lose last week. I was very happy with myself for that pick, which I didn't bet in my real life. But, I like MJ Morris. Louisville, so inconsistent. I think they'll be feeling confident here, which means they'll probably lose. Kansas State going to West Virginia. Odd road game, tough one this time of year. West Virginia's 7.5-point home underdog.
Yeah, this is one where, I'm just going to side with the team, and no offense to people in Morgantown, that's better coached and has better players. And I think that's Kansas State. West Virginia can't get out of its own way. I know they upset Oklahoma last week, but it was a really ugly game and choppy and didn't look very good. So I think West Virginia is feeling itself a little bit. I think Neil Brown is excited off a win. Can he come back and beat a Kansas State team that's just going to grind you down and really make no mistakes and has Deuce Vaughn? He's going to break away for a run or two here. So I'm going to take Kansas State. Don't love the hook, but I'll take them by 10.
Yeah, I'm going to take West Virginia. Garrett Green looked good after JT Daniels, unfortunately, benched again. It's just not going to work out. Not going to work out for our boy. He'll probably go to one more school before it's all said and done. But Garrett Green looked good running around, not the most consistent passer, but he was impressive, gave him a different look. So, yeah, give me West Virginia to cover, still like Kansas State to win. Oregon State at Arizona State, 8-point underdogs are the Sun Devils.
I know what you're doing here, and you're trying to pick against me to catch me in the rankings. So I'm just going to try to read your mind here. Knowing that you're from Oregon, you might like them in this game. I'm going to take Oregon State. I think they're actually a pretty good football team. I think they can score. Arizona State is trying. Sean Aguano is doing a fine job there, but they know his run is coming to an end. Oregon State's going to be happy to get out of the bitter Pacific Northwest cold and rain, to go to Tempe, to see some color on people's skin, a nice tan this time of year and in the Tempe area. I'm going to take Oregon State -8. I think they're a pretty good team.
Guess what? Give me the Sun Devils. I will take. I have all my picks written down, so you can't.
Yeah, right.
You just never look at the prep worksheet to
No.
you don't know. But all my picks are in ahead of time. So give me the Sun Devils. They can score, and I think Oregon State's defense can give up some points too. So I like Oregon State to win, but yeah, I'm going to take the Sun Devils to cover. Navy at number 20, UCF. UCF goes out, beats the number 17 team in the rankings on the road, and then proceeds to get jumped by a bunch of teams in the rankings. It felt like 2018 all over again.
All over again, yeah. The disrespect, right?
That's right.
I took Navy last week. It was not looking good against Notre Dame. Notre Dame took the pedal off, and Navy kept playing. I think something similar happens this week, that UCF jumps out 21-3. It's 28-6. But Navy kind of inches under that line again. Can they bring it 2 weeks in a row? I don't know. But the numbers are telling me that Navy is the pick, so I'm taking Navy. UCF has trouble dealing with that offense, so I'm going to take Navy. They're not going to win the game, but they're going to keep it relatively close, under 2 touchdowns.
A couple of my UCF friends were like, "Oh, is this the game that UCF blows and plays like crap?" I said, if it was at Navy, yes, they 100% lose. You bring Navy down to the heat, it's going to be 70 plus degrees, humid. They're not ready. Navy, sorry, you better be. You're not going to be prepped for war, Navy, if you can't handle the heat in Orlando. So yeah, give me the Knights to win big, cover big. I might take them in the first half there as well. Illinois going to Michigan. Michigan an 18-point favorite.
Yeah, I'm going to take Michigan here. There's no kind of public love, betting love, but Illinois can't really do much. I mean, I understand they have a good defense, but I don't think they're going to be able to move the ball offensively against Michigan. Michigan has a whole lot to play for. They're going to try. This is a game where you want the first half. They're going to try to get this over with quick. I wouldn't be shocked if it was 28-0 at halftime and they won the game 31-7. So I'm going to take Michigan here. I just think they can score. Illinois' defense will get wound down, and I don't think Illinois can move the ball against Michigan. This is one of my more favorite games of the week. I think Michigan wins handily. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 35-3.
Well, boy, we're against each other again. After last week, we were in sync. This week, give me the Illinois boys. I think they shorten the game here. I like old Bert to run the ball a ton. And, I'm going to take Illinois to cover. Michigan still to win, of course, by maybe 17, maybe, 41-24. It's still enough to get the cover. Miami at Clemson. Clemson a 19-point favorite.
Yeah, and I don't love this game either way. 19 seems like a whole lot. But Miami is not a very good football team at all. And our boy Mario Cristobal is building it, and it's going to take time, and there needs to be patience and all those kinds of things. But they're just not good. I don't love Clemson's offense. They're choppy. It's not pretty out there, but their defense should still be pretty good. Miami, who knows what they're going to do at quarterback? I guess Ja'Cory Brown is now the hero of the team. So I'm going to take Clemson here. Don't love the pick because I actually think it could be low scoring and ugly, but I'll take Clemson -19 at home.
Yeah, I'm going to take Clemson too. I think this is a horrible matchup for Miami. Ja'Cory Brown, sorry, you're going on the road. And guess what? You have like 3 healthy offensive linemen, and you have a team with 8 future NFL defensive players there. So, I think Tiger's gonna really get after him and probably have some success running it on him as well. Penn State going to Rutgers. Rutgers a 19-point underdog.
Yeah, this is interesting because I'm surprised it's so low, honestly. Penn State has blown Rutgers out in many games, and Rutgers is not very good. And Penn State seems to be kind of coming on as the season gets better. It's the typical story with Penn State, really. They beat everybody handily. They lose to Michigan and Ohio State. I mean, that's just really it. So I'm surprised this number is so low. I'm gonna have to check the weather to see if there's some kind of weird nor'easter coming. What's hitting Buffalo might be coming across. I don't know. I'm gonna have to check. But for right now, before I get to the meteorologists, I'm taking Penn State, and I think it's pretty easy.
Yeah, well, if there was a big storm hitting New York, you would be here. Oh, it's super storm. Oh my God, they're getting 6 inches of snow. What about the pier? It was washed away. The hot dogs. Get out of here. Media elites. Forget it.
Yeah,
Jimmy,
stops.
Jimmy Rutgers. Come on.
No.
They got 5 different quarterbacks playing. I think they can keep it close enough. And I'm always in the mood. I'm always ready for Penn State to have one of these stinker games where they barely win. So, yeah, give me Rutgers to cover there. Boston College at Notre Dame. Notre Dame a 3-touchdown favorite.
Yeah, can Notre Dame beat anybody by 21? That's the bet. Like can they blow someone out handily? This could be a low scoring, slow game, cold. I'm going to take Boston College. The public loves them, which I don't like at all, but I'm going to take Boston College to lose 28-10. So I'm going to take the Eagles. Halfley, might be able to kind of trick them a little bit. And I don't know if Notre Dame can blow anybody out. So I'll take BC.
Yeah, I'm going to take Boston College as well. They've looked pretty decent the last few weeks. Obviously, they won. They got some fight, and I like them to keep it close enough. I mean, that's a huge number, 3 touchdowns. So, yeah, give me BC. Number 1, Georgia, way down, buried in the rundown, 22.5-point favorites at Kentucky.
22.5. Now, whenever you see this number, like last week when I saw it Mississippi State, I said Mississippi State can score. Mississippi State can keep it close. Mississippi State could do something here or there or whatever, and they just got throttled. I just don't think that the lines makers still are grasping this Georgia team. Georgia is playing like Alabama played 10 years ago, where it could be 17-10 at halftime, and then they just keep pounding and pounding and pounding. They never stop playing. They never stop trying to blow people out. They never stop trying to embarrass the other team in a healthy way. Like, they never try to keep going after them. So I wouldn't be shocked if this was a 10-point game going into the fourth quarter and Georgia scored 2 touchdowns and one was a pick 6 and all those kinds of things. I don't think this Kentucky team's all that good. On our graphic, I'm surprised that they're minus 22.5 against the number 1 team in the country. So we'll have to fix that.
Why didn't you just say that at the beginning? I'm not fixing it. I'm fixing it.
Don't fix it. We all know Georgia's winning. I'm taking Georgia. I don't care. I'm not betting against them for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I'm not getting a lot of sleep over here, Gorney. So just keep that in mind, everybody, for the mess ups on the show. I'm taking Georgia. I'm taking Kentucky. No, I'm taking Georgia. I got Georgia on my sheet. Kentucky, future. Please, if you're an NFL team that drafts Will Levis in the top 3, I mean, you're not making the right decision. We'll put it that way. All right, Louisiana at Florida State, one of the teams that was behind UCF, beat a team not in the rankings, and then jumped over them. It totally made sense. 24-point favorites.
Too many points here. Florida State wins, but it's too many points. Plus, it's a huge flip in the public and the money. So someone in Vegas, some sharp, sent some kid with $50,000 into betmgm.com to lay it down on the Raging Cajuns here. That's too many points. I'm taking Louisiana on principle alone.
Yeah, I'm going to take Louisiana as well. Good preview for the Florida game here is basically
right.
The same team. Yeah, give me Louisiana to cover. Still like, 42-21 or something, but 24 is too much for me. Ohio State going to Maryland. They're 27.5-point favorites.
Yeah, this is another one where I'm not crazy about how high the number is. So I'm going to take Maryland here. I think Ohio State wins. The game that just keeps coming back to me in my mind is when Ohio State went to Maryland and Urban had his headaches on the sideline at this game. It just seems like whenever Ohio State goes there, they kind of just, Maryland can score. Maryland can kind of keep it close at home. If this game was at Ohio State, I might lean that way. But again, Maryland plus 4 touchdowns. I don't know. I'm gonna take the Terps here to maybe not even keep it close, but to cover the number.
I love picking against Maryland, one of my standby teams that I think is always overrated. among the Iowa States of the world. So yeah,
Yeah.
give me Ohio State to blow them out big here. Cincinnati at Temple. Temple only a 17-point underdog seems low to me.
Yeah, this is a very strange game because all of the public is on Temple here, and I think it's because they've actually been scoring in the last few weeks and have not looked completely horrendous like they have like in the first half of the season. But God, I don't know. I don't love this game. And again, if 90% of the people betting this game are betting Temple, just give me Cincinnati. I'm taking Cincinnati. I don't care. They could win 18-0 for all I know.
Yeah, Temple's awful. I strange line, but yeah, give me Cincinnati. Georgia Tech at North Carolina. North Carolina 21-point favorite. They love to not cover. So what do you think here?
See, that's the problem here is they love not to cover, but I'm going to take them to cover. I just think they outgun Georgia Tech. I don't know how much Georgia Tech has left. There's a coaching search there. This time of year is kind of like when I like betting against teams for a coach because, the interim coach is giving it his all. Now he's into the grind of it a little bit. Brenke's done a decent job there, but I'm just going to take North Carolina to outscore them. In my mind, 42-17 just popped in my mind, and I'm sure Georgia Tech will have the ball last after North Carolina covers with 3 minutes left, and they have first and goal from the 8 and don't score. So I'm going to take North Carolina 21. It's not going to be an easy one, but I'll take it.
Little Freudian slip there. James Taylor. In my mind, I'm going with Carolina. So yeah, I'm gonna take North Carolina also. Tennessee going to South Carolina. They're 21.5-point favorites.
Yeah, man, that's a lot. It's a big number, but it is an evening game there. It could keep it interesting. But I'm going to take the Vols. I think that their offense can just outscore them. South Carolina's offense has sputtered a whole lot. This could be a game where Tennessee, it all depends on what Tennessee's feeling right now. Like, do they feel that they need to blow everybody out like the old Florida State teams to get into the national picture again, knowing that Ohio State and Michigan are playing each other? I'm going to take Tennessee. They have so much more to play for. I think they could jump out early and then kind of extend their lead through the game. I don't know. I don't love it, but I'm going to take the Vols.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to pick against Tennessee. I mean, look at even last week it's like, oh man, they're in a dogfight with Missouri. It's 25-17 or whatever. Then next thing you know, they've got 66 points. Yeah. So go ahead and give me the Vols to cover there as well. UAB going to LSU. LSU a 14.5-point favorite.
Yeah, this number is curious. This is strange. I don't know why it's so low. LSU was playing well. UAB is not like the UAB of the last few years, but still a decent team. If the number's too low, you take the other side. It feels like a trap. This feels like 28-14, 35-24. I'm going to take UAB here. I don't know why, but the number just seems curious. And this feels like it should be 24.5. Since it's not, it feels like a trap. So I'm taking UAB.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of LSU. Honestly, they almost lost that game last week if Sam Pittman wasn't chasing points early for no reason with his third string quarterback. So bizarre decision making there. So give me UAB to cover that. Maybe by 2 touchdowns. Maybe it's 14 that hook it gets you. And last but not least, Colorado at Washington. Washington, a 30.5-point favorite. I don't have it on the screen here.
So on completely just the blowout principle alone, I'm taking Colorado. This is going to be a blowout. It's not going to be fun to watch. I'll probably watch it anyway, unless it's on the Pac-12 network, which I don't get. 30.5 is too much. 42-14. I'll take it. I'm going to take the Buffs.
Boy, the Buffs are terrible.
So bad.
I don't know if you see the play. Give me Washington. I think going to be fun, going to be rocking there in the stadium coming off the big win. They might start a little slow, but I like them to cover that huge spread. So that wraps it up for us. We only got 1 or 2 more weeks of shows before me and Gorney go on the road and our life of misery begins in earnest. So be sure to check out our YouTube channel. You can watch the full show there. You can also hear it on the Commitment Issues podcast feed, where Gorney and I will be doing some more shows too as recruiting heats up in the weeks before signing day. So that wraps it up for us. We'll be back with another show next week.